Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, we are 66 days away from the 2026 Daytona 500. Yeah, the more this trial goes on, the more it hurts both sides. I listened to Dale Jr. download last night, him and Kelly talking, and I loved a lot of what they said. I don't disagree that there needs to be change. I don't disagree that there's a path forward for both sides. What I do disagree with is some of the stuff that's coming out with these teams. All these teams claiming they lose money. Well, some of the teams that are claiming that they're losing money are ones that where the owners sponsor the cars with their own business. So it's almost like that said business is on the car. They quote sponsor it, but they're not moving money from business to business and it's showing a loss, which helps their bottom line of their other businesses. But I could be wrong, but that's just an impression that I'm getting. If like I've said in other videos, if I'm losing $6 million a year, why would I want to spend another $30 million? If I'm having a hard time finding sponsors for 2 cars, finding sponsors for 3 cars is going to be much easier. Doesn't make a lot of business sense. But I hope they come up with a path forward where we don't just completely blow it up. That this is a lose-lose for everyone. I think the more some of this quote behind-the-scenes talk comes out, the worse it gets for both sides. There's been stuff on the 2311 side that came out. I don't know. You put this in the jury's hands, the judge's hands. Yeah. Who knows exactly where we go. And just something like Dale Jr. talked about, and I've actually said this before too, permanent charters, all in for that. Have the charter money tied to the media rights deal. Okay, so the media rights deal goes up, everybody gets more money. If the media rights goes down, they don't. What is that percentage? Is it 70% to the teams, 20% to the tracks, 10% to NASCAR? Maybe that works, maybe it doesn't. Does NASCAR need a piece in it? Yes, because they own the tracks. Is it a monopoly? Well, here's the thing, though. If NASCAR is a monopoly, so is F1, so is IndyCar, so is any other racing where there's not multiple. Is the NBA, quote, a monopoly? There's only one NBA league in America. There's only one NFL in America, but yeah, you have UFL. So I guess maybe you can have other football leagues, but IndyCar if NASCAR's a monopoly, so is IndyCar, so is F1. There's only one of each, but fixing the sport, doing things like that, and the business model like Dale Jr. and Kelly were talking about, is a different conversation than it's a monopoly and the antitrust stuff. I think we've got 2 conversations that need to be had. But getting everyone on that same page, I don't know. But anyway, 66 days until Daytona. We're going to profile car number 66. 835 races in the Cup Series. 1 win, 11 top 5s, 59 top 10s, 5 poles. First race February 5th, 1950. Last race November 2nd, 2025. 112 different drivers started races in the number 66. Only one guy ever won. It was a Ford 274 times. It was a Chevrolet 222 times. Toyota 218. Pontiac 84. Oldsmobile 41. Buick 27. Plymouth 21. Hudson 11. Mercury 3. Chrysler and Nash 1 each. Now when I think the 66, the first thing that comes to mind was Dick Trickle and that 66 Trapart car. As I was looking stuff up, writing down, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this 66. I remember this 66. Timmy Hill, 82 starts, average finish 34.1. Jeff Green, the 66 Best Buy car. I forgot all about that one. 68 starts, 5 top 10s, average finish 25.4. Lake Speed, 58 starts, 9 top 10s, average finish 21.9. Phil Parsons, the 66 Skull car, his brother in the 55. Forgot all about that. 57 races, 1 top 5, 11 top 10s. average finish 20.7. Darrell Waltrip, the 66 Kmart car, once he sold the team and sold his Darrell Racing and was just the driver there. 55 starts in that 66 Kmart car, average finish 29.8. Dave Blaney, 45 starts, average finish 40.9. Now there's a lot of these, 45 starts, average finish less, after in the 40s. I'm gonna do maybe. It's a lot of work. Look from 2006 through 2010, and look at the starting part teams, that era. Now, there's been something that's been talked about, and it was talked about on 30 Mo Media on November Clear. They made the statement: 11 of 19 original charter teams are no longer in NASCAR. So I thought about that little statement they said, and I started doing some look. I thought I had all that paperwork here. I guess I don't. So, and I looking at that. And the original charter teams, and I've talked about this before, Ganassi sold to Trackhouse. I don't look at Ganassi going out of business, and here's why. Justin Marks approached Chip Ganassi. There was no talk of Chip Ganassi leaving the sport. Justin Marks made him a deal that he couldn't refuse, and he left the sport. Penske, RCR, SHR. Haas was in the sport. Tony bought in. Tony left. Haas is still in the sport. There's still a connection there with Gene Haas. Hendrick, obviously, Roush. Baldwin, we know they went out. Petty got 2 charters. Merged with GMS. GMS sold to Jimmy Johnson. That team hasn't, the ownership plot of that 2 teams have changed, but the team hasn't really changed. Jermaine, Michael Waltrip, JGR, some other teams went out. Front Row, they started with charters, they still have charters. JTG, they changed names, that's it. Now, what I've also done, I went back and looked, 2006. So from 2006, what teams were still active 7 years later when the charters came about? Because the charter came about 2015. You had to run full-time from 2012 to 2014 and get your charter in 2015. So from 2006 through 2012, what teams are still around? 11 of the 21, I actually went to 2010. From 2006 to 2010. 11 of the 21 teams in 2006 were still around in 2010. Half the teams were gone in 4 years prior to charters. 2010 till 2012. That just simple years. 14 of the 21 were still around. So what is that? 8 teams left from 2010 through 2015. So the point is, people saying, well, only 11 of the 19 charter teams left when the charters came out. That percentage has always been a thing in NASCAR from 2006, 2010, 2015, 2025. Teams come and go. The difference is 2006, 2010, when those teams left, they left with nothing. Once that charter came out, they left with money. But, that's either here or there. Xfinity, 691 starts for the number 66, 5 wins, 66 top 5s, 143 top 10s. First race, February 19, 1983. Last race, April 26, 2025. 62 different drivers, 4 different winners. Steve Wallace, yes, Rusty Wallace's son, 174 starts, 6 top 5s, 34 top 10s, average finish 19.7. Todd Bodine, 64 starts, 1 win, 24 top 5s, 40 top 10s, average finish 13.9. Timmy Hill, 61 starts, 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, average finish 28.0. Casey Mears, 35 starts, 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, average finish 23.8. Nathan Butkia, 32 starts, 1 top 10, average finish 27.3. Greg Biffle, 31 starts, 1 win, 17 top 5s, 24 top 10s, average finish 10.0. Elliott Sadler, 31 races, 2 wins, 5 top 5s, 6 top 10s, average finish 10.0. Now that is only 7 of the 62 drivers from the Xfinity Series that ever drove the number 66. So I'm not doing an all-inclusive list. For the all-inclusive list, you can go to driveraverages.com, search any car number, and it'll pull you the history of Cup, Xfinity, and Truck. And then you can look at the drivers on driveraverages.com and see what car numbers they've driven. You know, some drove the 4W, the 31X, and all whatever kind of weird numbers they've had back in the day. On the truck side, 45 drivers, 277 different starts, 4 wins for the number 66 in the Truck Series, 3 different drivers. Top 5s, 22, 63 top 10s. Brian Refner leads the way with 43 starts, 2 top 5s, 9 top 10s, average finish 20.1. Rick Corelli. The more I think about that, I can kind of visualize that truck almost. Rick Corelli drove 28 starts, 1 win, 3 top 5s, 9 top 10s, average finish 18.2. I want to say Remax was the sponsor, if I remember correctly. Ty Majeski, obviously becoming a champion later on, he got that part-time ride with Thor Sport in the 66, turned it into a full-time ride, which turned it into him winning a championship. 27 starts in that 66, 2 wins, 10 top 5s, 17 top 10s, average finish 10.9. Mike Stefanik, 26 starts, 1 top 5, 10 top 10s, average finish 13.6. And then actually driving a 66 now for Thor Sport. Connor Jones, 22 starts, average finish 23.4. And then Joseph Logano, Joey Logano, 3-time Winston Cup or NASCAR Cup champion. 1 race, 1 win. That 66 Planet Fitness truck for the Bristol Dirt Race. He went out there and won it, and his only truck start in the 66 for Thor Sport. All right, we are 66 days away from the Great American Race, 2026 Daytona 500. Obviously, NASCAR is presenting their case with the trial, the trial of the century this week. Like I've said before, and some other people have said, unless they settle, I don't think it's going to be over. I think if it goes to the jury and goes to the judge, I don't think these teams, in my opinion, what I've seen online, I could be wrong, I could be missing stuff, have completely proved their case. Because when you have, and Dale Jr. mentioned this, a legacy team that has 600 employees. Yes, 10 years ago you needed 600 employees to build these cars. Today you don't. So you have these mega organizations with all these employees that you don't really need. But then you have other organizations, and Tommy talked about this. You pay a Hendrick or a Gibbs or a Penske $2, $3, $4, $8 million in some cases for stuff instead of hiring employees. So now you have these massive organizations, all these employees that do all these other jobs, and you're collecting revenue from smaller teams to do work for them, but you're losing money. I don't have 600 employees then. Don't have the Taj Mahal of race shops. Don't build a $30 million shop when you can build a $10 million shop. Don't build a $30 million shop with 23-degree angled windows. Customize everything. And then complain you're losing money. You've already said you spend $1 million a month or a year on rent for the building. That you spend $8 million a year on information from JGR. But the Jordan brand sponsors the 45. Does the Jordan brand send 2311 money? Or is it we run it out of our pocket, the name's on the car, people go to the site, buy stuff, make money, but the race shop's not making money? Just like with does HendrickCars.com give a check to Hendrick Motorsports, or is it Hendrick Motorsports runs the team, puts HendrickCars.com on there? And Rick has made the statement before, I make more money having HendrickCars.com on there than I would a sponsor paying me to be on there. Which leads that statement to me, after all this stuff coming out, going, wait a minute, so you put the name on there, you're running it out of the Hendrick Motorsports checkbook, but you're not getting money from HendrickCars.com because you're making money over here and you're using Hendrick Motorsports as a write-off. Got it. You're making all this other money over here, but it's not, but you're losing money over here. We're losing money. See, we need to change the business model. We're losing money. But technically, are you really losing money, or is it just put money here, there, here? This is what our tax write-off is, and the money's over here. I don't know. I love to see the complete books. I know people said they're out there. I have yet to see the complete books. I want to see a breakdown of this is the revenue we get from the TV deal. This is the purse money we've gotten through all the races. This is all of our sponsorship money that's come in. This is all of our expenses. Here's the bottom number. I want to see that. That would tell us a lot. We're not seeing that. We're just seeing this number, boom, we're losing money. Yeah, I can cook up numbers all day long and show I'm losing money. But, again, I don't know this for a fact. I want to see these numbers to see, okay, where are you losing money at? Is it the 600 employees? Is it the this, that, or the other? Where is the disconnect? But, hey, we are 66 days away from Daytona. Let's focus on that. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.